Yeah.
The last movie I saw there was the De Palma documentary from Noah Baumbach.
High on your
Bruce
list?
Paltrow. It's, I got to tell you, first of all, I mean, as a De Palma freak, of course, we're all very excited that there's a De Palma documentary, so it's cool that this thing exists. On the other hand, I think you learn a lot more about De Palma just from our series that we did on him, because there's very little talk of subtext in his movies, which I think is often overlooked, and I didn't expect the documentary to overlook it. There's some talk about technique. There's a lot of anecdotes, some of them really kind of delicious anecdotes, behind-the-scenes stuff from his movies. It's just De Palma talking about his movies. There's no interview question.
That's valuable.
Yeah. Yes, but at the same time, they cut it so that there is absolutely no break. There's one movie to the other. And it's almost like they cut out all the uhs and ahs and all the moments of reflection that maybe veer away from the actual talk of the movies themselves. And as a result, the documentary actually feels longer. I think if they allowed it a little bit more breathing room, I mean, it just goes, then things would have settled in more in your mind. You'd be able to absorb a lot more from it. But there's some interesting things in it. And plus it's not, I mean, documentaries, even static interviews in documentaries are shot so pristinely now. Such beautiful kind of cinematography in a lot of documentaries. This one just looks bad. I mean, they don't have him framed right. He's not framed in front of any particularly appealing backdrop. I mean, these are two directors that two established, or at least Baumbach, an established director behind this movie, which surprised me. And they're making a movie about one of the most visual filmmakers ever.
Wait, are you saying that my company shot this? Is that what you're saying? I mean,
probably. But he does tell good stories. He does tell good stories. Tells good stories about Cliff Robertson and Al Pacino and Sean Penn, how Sean Penn kept trying to intimidate Michael J. Fox, and at the end, when they're at the courtroom and they convict Sean Penn, and Sean Penn marches past Michael J. Fox and whispers something in his ear at the end of Casualties of War. Remember that moment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what did he whisper? Apparently Sean Penn whispered in his ear, television actor. So there's good stuff like that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you get more out of like a book like The Devil's Candy, more about De Palma than you would in this documentary?
I don't know. No, because that's just about the goings on in Bonfire, and he talks about Bonfire, and he says everything in The Devil's Candy is accurate in the documentary. He says, yeah, it's all true.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Well, there's a lot about De Palma in there, though, too. That's what I mean. Like something like that, or even something like Art Linson's memoir, Pound of Flesh, where he talks about the Untouchables, the making of the Untouchables. There seems to be
just by the virtue of this being an entire career retrospective, you get more from it. Because I mean, he even talks about Wise Guys. So I mean, every movie he's done is represented.
Wow.